Good morning. Welcome back into the Capitol Hoop Caucus on ESPN 630. Alongside Isaac Harris and Troy Halliburton, I am Wardell McCabe. Thank you for waiting through to the other side. It's about time in the show for us to run the full court press, which is when we open up the show to discuss the rest of the association. And folks, it is playoff time in the W. So we're going to go ahead and review what's happened so far and preview the games ahead. We'll look at the 4 teams remaining in the semifinals. But first, let me ask you both, what's been the biggest surprise of the playoffs to this point, Troy?
Oh, the Indiana Fever winning around and playing as well as they've been playing without Caitlin Clark. I think that, that is the biggest surprise to me. I did not expect the Indiana Fever to be in the conference semifinal or in the WNBA semifinals without their star player.
Outside of the Fever, which I do agree with that because it shows more about how the Fever's constructed rather than just losing their star player, Caitlin Clark. Phoenix getting, Phoenix showing out and actually proving that, hey, they belong at this industry. And shout out to the growth of women of the WNBA playoffs. Notoriously, they've been historically known as to be bumped and put in different arenas, or they have to be, there. The Phoenix Mercury have been avenged by bumping off the Jonas Brothers and saying, no, we're more of a priority. So that shows how historic this playoffs are. It's like, nah, we're the priority now. And the Jonas Brothers in that beef are actually supportive of that. So that I'm just happy about that. Surprising, man, look how far we've come as basketball fans and for the WNBA as a whole.
Yeah, it's definitely a great growth to see there. But let's talk a little bit more about the Mercury. The first series in the semifinals right now is the Lynx and the Mercury. The Lynx being the number 1 seed of the playoffs, Phoenix being the 4 seed. Minnesota won game 1 on Sunday, September the 14th, 82-69. But the Mercury, they avenged that in game 2 on Tuesday with an 89-83 win in overtime. Game 3, for everyone who is listening, is actually happening later tonight, Friday, the time that we're recording this. Isaac, what's the anticipation like for game 3 here?
Yeah, I'm looking at game of the weekend. The Phoenix Mercury have shown that they are relentless and they don't care about what everyone is picking, the Lynx, thinking that Nafisa was robbed out of the MVP or she should get her title after last year. They don't care about the narratives. They're just like, no, we're here to play. And we're here to show that we can do this. Alyssa Thomas is out here showing, like, you guys keep dissing me this entire year off of random stuff, not giving me my flowers. I'm going to force you to watch Phoenix Mercury basketball, and same with DeWanna Burner. Like, they look amazing, and they look gritty. And when you have a team that looks gritty, they have nothing to lose, it's very hard to defeat them.
I think that the Minnesota Lynx, they blew a 20-point lead in the last game. I think they come out and they win by 20 tonight. They avenged that. I think the Lynx are the best team that's left in the WNBA. They were the best team for the entirety of the season. And I feel like they're going to take it personally that they took that loss to the Mercury, blowing that 20-point lead. So I would expect them to come out and have a big game tonight.
Yeah, definitely coming out with a fiery vengeance. You'd have to assume, but it should be noted the playoffs, the strategy has actually changed a little bit and the system, how it works. So the first 2 games are actually in Minnesota. So this game tonight is actually going to be in Phoenix. But let's go ahead and switch over to the second-best team of the WNBA, at least second-best team in the closing stretch of the regular season, that being the Aces. They're also tied 1-1 in the semifinals, and the aforementioned Indiana Fever are those who are pushing them in that one. Las Vegas won game 1, 89-73, but Indiana won game 2, 90-68. So 2 blowouts in these 2 games. Troy, are you expecting the same thing in game 3, or is this one going to be a little bit closer?
No, it's going to be the same thing. The Aces, I don't expect the Indiana Fever to win another game this season. I'm just being honest. Asia Wilson, shout out to her. She won the MVP since the last time we recorded this show. And I was very strong with my opinion as to why I believe that she should have won the MVP. And she's just on a heater right now. I expect her to come out and, like, the way that she's been playing for the entirety of the WNBA playoffs, like she's like really like just on her Jordan stuff right now. Like, so I don't expect the Indiana Fever to win another game.
I wouldn't even say Jordan. I think she's on her LeBron.
Okay,
right now.
Hey, look, all right.
Like, she's like, this is for her showing, like, stop leaving me out of these conversations, like, almost like. So I kind of have to agree with Troy. Like, the Aces, like, no, we're here for a reason, and we want Minnesota, and we're going to take that as long as we can, because Asia Wilson is showing that I want to be considered the GOAT. She's the only 4-time MVP for the WNBA. 4 times. So she's like, no, I need to reset my dominance because people are playing about my name. So like it is what it is. So yeah.
All right, so it sounds like you both have possibly Minnesota and Las Vegas going to the finals. Let's talk about some of the teams that have been eliminated. There's been quite a bit of moves already made on the coaching front. Isaac, has there been any coaching changeup that has been shocking to you?
I'll be honest, no, because there's 2 reasons. One, I think Sandy Burlow, for the first to start off with the New York Liberty, I thought she was going to lose her job if they didn't win the title last year. She was always like, I love how all the media has been saying, oh my gosh, why did she lose her job? No, she's been on the hot seat with them for the last 2 years because she hasn't been able to try to cohesively get this team with so much talent together. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but like, oh my gosh, I'm not shocked. You have the best roster that money could buy that isn't the Aces or Minnesota. You should be winning championships after championships after championships, or have at least better chemistry. They haven't done that. She's actually underperformed based off everything. Now with Seattle, the only reason I say I'm not surprised is because, well, they've gone through a lot of scandals and there's a lot of stuff and drama going on. So at that point, you got to remove the situation because you have possibly a generational player and a generational rookie that with Dominique Mwanga that you do not want her to be influenced by that toxicity on whatever was going on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. The Seattle thing, like they fired the entire staff. Like that's like, yeah, that's when everybody got to go. Like so, yeah, that's not surprising at all. There rumors about the I don't know, like just the tension that was going on in Seattle was that was not very much secret across WNBA Twitter. And as far as like you said, and then with Sandy, yeah, like if the Liberty didn't win the championship last year, she wouldn't even got the opportunity to come back this year. So, shout out to her for at least winning that ring. And so, I think. But another thing though, with there becoming so many expansion teams coming in, I think that she'll probably get picked up and get another job fairly quickly.
All right, but let's again stick to the teams who are eliminated. Troy, of the teams eliminated to this point, who do you think is going to have the toughest offseason ahead?
The Dallas Wings. We talking about of anybody, not just the teams who made the playoffs.
Could be of anybody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Dallas Wings have the tough because number one, they're another team where there's a lot of tension around some of the players there and the coaching staff. And I believe that eventually they're going to have to come to a decision of what they're going to do with Arike Ogunbowale. And, I don't think that she is long for being down there in Dallas. And so to me, I think that, that they need to come to a decision as far as what they're going to do and really hand over the keys of the franchise to Paige Beckers.
All right. No, Isaac, same question.
Chicago Sky. I think they have come to a crossroads, and there's a bad pattern here with how they've dealt with Angel Reese as a whole. And there's also says a lot about the organization. This team about 5.5 years ago just won the NBA title with a Hall of Famer, and that Hall of Famer did not want to stay in her home city and keep winning or help build off that championship run. And they've gone through 3 different coaches then, and they did not let go this coach that they currently got because I have a weird feeling they can't afford the buyout. With that, and you have an unhappy first-round pick that is also in draft and also in trade conversations, the Chicago Sky need to figure out their identity and figure out if Angel Reese is part of that identity for the future. And I don't know if they're taking the right necessary steps to do that right now. I'm very concerned.
All right. Well, we'll just keep following the path ahead for the WNBA playoffs, which you can watch on ESPN and ABC. We're going to take one final break here. On the other side, we'll have trivia time from the line. This is the Capital Hoop Caucus on ESPN 630 and the ESPN 630 app.